We are now joined by the winner of tonight's NASCAR Xfinity Series race here at Nashville Superspeedway. That's Justin Allgaier. We'll go right into questions for Justin. If you have a question for Justin, raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. We're going to start here with Dustin.
This might be the tallest I've ever been in the media center ever, so I'm going to enjoy that fact.
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Justin, after what happened last week, and how much was a dominant performance like this needed tonight?
Oh, hang on. I'm sitting on the cord. That's not good. There we go. I don't know that it was needed for the team or for anybody. You know, we had a lot of conversation about, you know, the way that last week ended, you know, amongst ourselves this week at the shop. But for me personally, it was important because I feel like I let a lot of people down last week, right? And I don't know that we could have held off the 17 or any of the other cars that we were racing with last week. You know, I think that they all had really good race cars. But, you know, tonight I was really proud of the effort. I was proud of being able to get up there in the front. But I the team did a way better job than the driver did, right? Getting me strategy and making the adjustments that we needed throughout the course tonight. You know, clean air was king. We saw it all night, and Connor and I had to laugh. He come down to the victory lane after the race is over, and he's like, "Man, I didn't realize how important it was until you got in front of me." He said, "I thought my balance was really good, and then I realized really quickly whenever I was behind you how much we should have adjusted." And you know, just team did a great job all night of keeping me in the game, keeping the car in the game, and every time we run this helmet scheme, we seem to. If we don't win, we seem to come, you know, really close to the front and put ourselves in an opportunity to go to victory lane. So really, really cool, really, really special. But to have, you know, really all 5 of our Junior Motorsports Chevrolets be fast this week throughout the course of the weekend is really special. And you know, I think that shows just how strong our organization is and how much effort they're putting into these races week in and week out.
Justin, did the track change throughout the night as the cautions come out? Track was cleaned up. You guys picked up rubber under caution. Did that change the track quite a bit for you as the driver?
Way more than I thought it would. You know, I think, you know, in years past here, we've raced in the day. And, you know, I remember racing here years ago, back when it was the Nationwide Series, and we raced tonight, right? But, you know, these last few weeks, or last few years we've raced here, it's been during the day. It's been hot and blistering and sunny, and you know, fans are unfortunately very miserable whenever the temperature's that hot. Then we come to today, we have a night race, and lo and behold, we have these beautiful temperatures, and it's, you know, gorgeous all day. So I don't know. I think the race maybe would have been a little bit different had it been sunny the whole time, but, you know, definitely throughout the course of the night as the sun went down. You saw it last night with the Truck Series. We saw it again tonight with the Xfinity Series. It just, you know, the track changed. It got a little bit tighter. And I think, too, you know, anytime you were in dirty air, you could really easily push through the front tires. And once they got hot and kind of slick, you never really got them back. You had to really slow down and get the front tires back. And I feel like the team kept me from doing that a lot tonight. But again, you know, when I got back in traffic, I was just kind of hanging on and trying to, you know, bide my time and get to the point of where we needed to get to be able to have a shot at it. And ultimately, that last restart was the difference maker.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Dalton and then Mike.
Hey, Justin, Dalton Hopkins, the front stretch. So you're coming off an Xfinity Series championship, a Daytona 500 start with Junior Motorsports, which you got a top 10, and now you already have 3 wins and 14 races in this season, and you're leading the point standings by a pretty large margin.
Yep.
As far as your career goes, is this the best you've ever been?
I'm in the best position I've ever been. I don't know that me personally as a driver, if I'm as good as I've ever been, right? I don't know that there's a certain point in time where age and experience and talent and just all the details that kind of play into you know, what makes a good race car driver cross over. You know, I think that the resources and the tools that we have today are obviously this young generation of race car driver coming in. Just, I mean, it's incredible to watch how good they are at such a young age. I mean, Connor's a great example of that. Really, our whole organization, right? Between Sammy, Carson, and Connor, you know, just 3 great talented race car drivers that you know, push me to be better. It's interesting because I'm working harder today than I've ever worked, right? Off the racetrack, in the simulator, watching film, you know, studying with Jim Pullman and this 7 group, and going through all of the resources that we have. I spend probably, I don't know, 10 times the amount of time right now than I did, 10 years ago, right? But to be relevant and to be good in this sport, I think you got to put the effort into it. And because of what we have now, these younger drivers are doing that, and I have to do what I can to keep up with it. So, the car is so important. There are so many guys that I feel like could do what I'm doing in my race car because of how good it is. And I have a great relationship with Jim Pullman and everybody on the 7 team, and that makes it better. But I'm just really proud of the quality of race car that I get to sit in week and week out makes all the difference in the world, and this team is what's providing that right now.
Is this the happiest you've ever been?
That term's relative, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, I mean, there have been times where I've been less successful on the track and been equally as happy or happier. But I think that for me, I'm in a different position in life. Probably what made me the most happy tonight was my 2 girls being able to ride to victory lane with me in the car, seeing my wife and seeing the smile on her face. The family that travels with me, my mom and dad are sitting in the back there, right? My mother-in-law's here tonight. The family that travels to the racetrack, and they're a part of what I do week in and week out. That probably the hardest part for me is my family doesn't travel nearly as much anymore, right? And when you have moments like tonight, they were all there last week, obviously it's home. So when you don't win, you're like, man, I just gave up. And I don't know if anybody saw the photo. My mother-in-law posted a photo on Facebook last week of Willow when the checker flag flew, and she had her head in her hands. She was just like, so dejected, right? Last week was her birthday, and all she wanted was to go to victory lane, and it crushes you as a dad, right? Like that you can't deliver on something that your kids want. But even yesterday, she was standing. We went to the mall yesterday, and she was standing there, and she was holding up 2 fingers because that's what we did in the last race, and she was going woo, and she was like, I want to do that tomorrow, and we did that. So, and she was all in. So I think for me, my joy of what makes me happy today is probably not what it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Those are the things that make me happy. Running good on the racetrack is great, and I love it. But it's the little details that make me happy now.
All right, we'll go to Mike and then Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Is this? I'm trying to remember. Is this the first time you've had both daughters in the car with you to victory? I know you had Harper at Phoenix last year, but you didn't have Willow. I don't think.
Willow has refused to ride. But now that she's turned 4, she's become a big girl, and she's told me that many, many times. And she has made it very clear that she needs me to win after she's 4 because now she's going to ride. And she told me in the car when we were riding to victory lane that she's a big girl and that she wasn't scared. So I didn't know that turning 4 could change so many things. But if you've ever met my daughter, she is tested my wife and I rather handily through life, and she's turned 4, and now all of a sudden she's like completely changed course, and it's wild to watch. So she's definitely all grown up, and that's the sad part as a dad when you watch your kids get bigger and you realize that some of those little things that maybe you experience are no longer things that you're going to experience again.
And also, I know this just happened, so maybe it's hard to reflect, but to have the opportunity to drive both your daughters to victory lane, like your car owner Dale Jr. will never get that chance unless he wins a late model race or if he wins one of these last few Xfinity races.
I'm hoping he comes out of retirement, by the way, and wins one of these things because he's been really good at it, and that would be really special. So.
But just to be able to do, again, something that, Dale Jr. has accomplished, this is not something he's been able to do at this point. You're able to do it, just what that means in the sense of not comparing you to Dale, but just some people not having that opportunity, you having this opportunity to do this, and, maybe you'll have more opportunities, or maybe this will be the only time because this will be the only time they're both here when you win or something. Yeah,
I mean, I think that I have a lot of sleepless nights over this exact topic, right? Because my wife, my wife's a rock star. It's the only way I can put it. And she makes sure that the kids get, wherever they're going to, we have softball with my oldest, with Harper, and, the travel softball is no joke. I mean, I'm going to tell you, anybody that's in this room that has done youth sports, it's like, it's a whole nother world, right? And so, she goes off on her own on the weekends, and we have a great support system and friends that, help her get to the field and be a part of the weekends. But, they don't travel as much. And I think that that you guys here in the media that have been around for quite a while, my wife wants to be at the racetrack every week. She wants to be a part of it. She loves sitting on the pit box. She loves, we sit and debrief the races when race weekends are over, and she gets it. She cares. She's in it. She's lived it. And, we've been married for a long time, almost 20 years. And it's crazy to think about, just how long that she's been at the racetrack, and, all the way back to the dirt days. And it's been weird not having them at the racetrack. But listen, to your point, nothing in this sport is guaranteed. Nothing in life is guaranteed, right? Nothing in the sport is guaranteed. This could be the last one for me ever in my career. I'll never know, right? And so, I've been able to win when they weren't at the racetrack, and those are cool moments. You come home, and Ashley gets the kids back up whenever I get to the house, and we celebrate, whenever I get home. But there's nothing like having them here and these experiences. And when I retire, I don't know. I mean, I know Harper will remember a lot. She's been through a lot, and good and bad. But I don't know how much Willow will remember by the time that I'm gone. And so, moments like these, if they can just be 1%, right? That little bit of thing that gives her those memories when I'm done racing, it'll mean something to me. And this sport has given me and my family so much. But when I walk away, I'm gonna be okay with what I've accomplished, and be okay with hanging my helmet up for the last time. And I hope that I have many more moments like this. But if I don't, I'm gonna cherish these ones that we do have.
Go to Jonathan.
Jonathan Howard on 3 Sports. Dale said earlier that you seem to be the most calm behind the wheel that you've ever been, and coming off an Xfinity championship and reaching the top of the mountain, how do you still keep that competitive edge and keep that hunger to lead all these laps that you've led and to score all these points and win all these races?
It's funny. I always thought I was pretty calm. Then people comment on, hey, as you got older, you got more fiery. And I'm like, man, I don't think I have. And then I listen to some of my audio back, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely have. But, winning the championship last year, I think for me was this cool, eye-opening moment. Maybe not even winning the championship, but the way that the race went, like almost 2 laps down, completely out of it. There's no way. I mean, I was ready to pull down pit road and just stop, right? Pull in a pit stall. And to be honest with you, this is going to sound really bad. If I didn't have to walk from turn 4 all the way to turn 1 to go to the media center, or the infield care center, I probably would have just stopped and got out. But they were going to make me walk all the way over there. And then I was like, I don't want to walk that far. And so then I just kept racing. And then the caution comes out, and we get a shot at it, and we go win a championship. So I think that changed my mentality of how these races go. I always used to think, like, it's got to be the perfect night. And we sort of had that tonight, right? We had the perfect points night and all of that. But, I think 5 years ago, I probably would have driven myself into the fence trying to get back to that clean air. I would have maybe made a mistake on one of these restarts that put myself in a really bad position and wrecked myself or maybe somebody else. There was actually a graphic pre-race, like a video playing, and I run right in the back of the 19, I think it's Ty Gibbs, right? And we were racing and battling, and I was pushing hard because I thought I had an opportunity to pass him. And we were tight. It wasn't like I drove into the side of him or into the back of him. I drove kind of into the side of him. But, that was 2 years ago or something. And I look back and I'm like, man, that was dumb, right? I wouldn't make that same move now. I might, but I feel like maybe I wouldn't. But I think those are the moments for me that have been cool, was just in the last 9 months, just the different mentality, the different attitude. And look, probably the coolest thing is I laugh every Monday because I feel like my 3 teammates are like looking at each other like, this is the person I'm battling for the opportunity to go to the cup level and, make the next big splash in the sport. And I'm like, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm enjoying the role that I have now, and it just different mentality. It's a lot of fun.
Any additional questions? Okay, we'll finish right here.
Thank you to whoever got me the coffee, by the way. That is game changer.
Justin, Corey Curtis, ABC National and Sports Dad. with 3 laps to go, the 39 went into the wall. How close of a call was that, and did you see the checkered flag flash before your eyes at that moment?
I did, and a lot of that comes from how we've lost some of these races this year. I think I'm like, man, I didn't want to have another restart, right? First and foremost. Number two, I was pretty confident that I was going to have a right front fender full of a 39 car after he rebounded off of the wall. And I need to go back and watch it because I really I'm confused as to what happened. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way and just mistimed the corner, or if just the dirty air from me being kind of to his left rear. But I feel like there was plenty of space there. But he hit it way harder than I thought he was going to. And in that moment, you know, you're leaving room, but you're not. Like you know, I'm trying to run as fast as laps as I can to not let the 88 get, you know, an opportunity to get back to me. And I just was like, yep, this is how our night's ending. This is gonna be great. But honestly, you know, I think when you have the races that we've had this year and let some of them get away like you have, those last 10 laps, I mean, you hear every chunk of rubber hit the firewall. You know, I actually almost radioed in with like 5 to go and told him that I thought the right front was coming apart because I just got so tight at that point. And I don't even know. Like, I had to laugh because I'm like, if this is how this is in, you know that the man above is going, hey, it's not the time. And so when it doesn't end like that, you go, all right, well, thank you. You let me have one tonight, and I'm very blessed in that regard.
All right, we'll actually take our last question here from Chris.
Chris Knight, catchingus.com. Congrats, Justin.
Thank you,
Just
Chris.
got a fun question for you. What's your favorite thing to put Hellman's on?
My favorite thing to put Hellman's on. We were actually having this conversation earlier about Hellman's. There is a chocolate cake that you cook with Hellman's that is like, never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought that would be what I would say my Hellman's recipe would be. But, and I don't know what it was called. I don't know where Jenny went. I would ask her because she would probably know what it is. But there's a chocolate cake that you use Hellman's. It's on their website, actually. You can go get it. And it's the best chocolate cake I've ever eaten in my entire life. Now, the other thing is we were talking about Will Levis, and I guess he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. And he puts Hellman's in his coffee. And I kind of want to try it. But I also know, like, I did the butter thing for once, tried it, and I was like, I can't do this. So any of you that puts butter in their coffee, no shot. You want me to put some mayonnaise in my coffee right now? I don't know how much to put in there, none of that. But, yeah, I'm going to have to try that one. That's going to be my next, like, try, but chocolate cake.
Peanut butter or
Listen, Dale's a rare breed, and the the banana mayo sandwiches, there's something about that just it's not my thing. Now, if you want to put mayonnaise on a hamburger or on a slick meat sandwich, go right ahead. But banana he raised a lot of money though with the banana mayo sandwich, and covered a lot of charities and did a lot of good with that sandwich. So, and a lot of people actually found out that they like it. So you know what? If that's the case, it makes it all worth it. I actually was hoping that it would be open because I really wanted, like, the squeeze bottle. I thought it'd be fun to, like, just absolutely go ham with that thing. And I got told that that was not doable. I didn't know that there was a line of what you could spray in Victory Lane. I think we found the line. Whatever that is, we have found the line. Although, if I would have gotten mayo all over the guitar, I probably would have been really sad. So maybe it's a good thing they wouldn't let me spray it.
All right, Justin, on that note, congratulations, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you all. I hope tomorrow night goes great. If that's the trophy for tomorrow night, it's beautiful as well. But purple is probably my favorite color, so, not a bad day. So thank you all for being here, and good luck tomorrow. Have fun.